Hello everyone. In this class, we are going to learn about quantifiers, the last fourth type of determiners. Quantifiers are the few words like some, few, little, all, none, and many more like each, every, neither, either, and a lot of, lots of, and so these words are used to indicate how much or how little of the noun is being discussed. So literally they tell us about the quantity. And one more thing to be known about quantifier is that they are used to express the quantity without giving an exact number. Means in this we do not give the exact number, means how much or how many or how less or more the noun is being referred. They are also known as distributive, as they use to show how something is distributed, shared or divided. So let's see one example. So here are some examples. In the first example, there are some eggs in the basket. The word some is pointing out to the noun eggs. This is the determiner, and this determiner is quantifier as it is indicating the quantity of the eggs without telling the exact amount of the eggs. And in the next example, we have she took all the books. In this, we have two determiners. One is all and another is the. Because the is also pointing out the noun books. But we need to know that the word all, the quantifier only all, can be used with other determiner also. It can be used alone as a determiner, it can be used with other determiner also, just to specify the noun. So in this case we are talking about all the books. It is specifying, means all the books, means whole pile, how many were there, all the books she took. So that's why we have used here all, and whenever all is used with other determiner, it will come before that determiner. So let's move further. Now we are going to read in detail about all these quantifiers one by one. But before that, I want to tell you that quantifiers are used with countable or uncountable noun. Uncountable noun are the nouns which cannot be counted, and the countable noun which can be counted. For example, these books, eggs, these are countable noun to which we can count in numbers. And uncountable nouns are like sugar, like rice, like hair, stars. So these are used differently with both countable and uncountable noun. Let's learn in detail. So here is our first quantifier, some. Some is used with both countable and uncountable noun, and it is used in positive sentences. Some is used always in positive sentences, not in negative sentences. And it is also used when we are offering something. Offering means we are offering something to someone. And when we are making request, it is also used with the request. So let's understand this through examples. So here is our first example. He has some friends with him. It's a positive sentence, means he has some friends with him. And here the word friends is a noun and it is countable. You see, it is countable. The word in which we can place s to make it plural are known as countable. So from friend we can make friends by putting s beside, is known as countable. So some is used with countable and it is a positive sentence. And the word some is determiner as it is pointing towards the noun. Okay, so I guess the concept is clear to you, the determiners and about the first quantifier some. So here sum is used with the countable noun. And let's see the next example. He bought some iced tea for his friends. What he bought? The noun which he bought is this, iced tea. And now tea is uncountable. Tea is uncountable, which is in a liquid form. We cannot count it. So friends was in countable noun and iced tea is uncountable noun. And the word sum, quantifier, is used with both countable noun and uncountable noun. So we understand that it is used with both countable and uncountable noun and with the positive sentences. So let's take some more examples. So here is the example how sum it can be used when we are offering something to someone. For example, would you like to have some coffee? Means here we are offering the uncountable noun, means the coffee, means some coffee, means some amount of coffee. Would you like to have? And next we have used some when we are making a request. Can I borrow some money please? Means only some amount of money. Only some amount of money. So usually we get confused at where to use some and other quantifier with uncountable noun. Sum, we can easily understand that sum is used when the amount of something is more than 5 unit. Is more than 5 unit. For example, if you can say there are some mangoes on the tree. Some mangoes on the tree. So it means they are more than 5 in number. But if the quantity is equal to 5 or less than 5, then you will use some other quantifier about which we will discuss later. So with this we have finished the use of sum. I hope you understand. Sum is used with both countable and uncountable noun. It is also used when you are making an offering and when you are making a request. So here is our next quantifier, any, which is also used with countable and uncountable nouns, but it has some different uses. It is not used in positive manner, but it is used in negative sentences, and it is used to ask the questions. It is used to ask the question, and it is used in negative sentences in which we use the word not. Let's look at these examples. And in the first sentence, she does not have any friends at this school. This is implying that it is a negative statement, means she does not have any friend. And the word friend is a countable noun. Okay, so it fulfills the rule. And in the second example, number 2, we have there isn't any milk left in the jug. There is not any milk left in the jug. Again, it's a negative statement, right? There is no milk, but the word milk is uncountable. The word milk is uncountable, but the word friends is countable noun. So it is clear the word any is used with countable and uncountable nouns, but it is used in negative sentences, in negative manner. But I can tell you one more example in which neither of these requirements will be fulfilled, like it will be not the negative sentence and it will not be the question. So let's take one more example. Is there any money in your bank account? Is there any money in your bank account? So this sentence is not fulfilling any of the requirement of this any quantifier. Like, so it is all known as the neutral sentence. Neutral means which is not following any of the rule. Is there any money in your bank account? It's a question. It's a question, and it's a neutral sentence. It is not the negative sentence, and it is not the positive sentence. It is just just a question in which the person is asking, is there any money? Is there any money? So this is how the word any is used. So keep in mind, some is used for positive sentences and any is used for negative sentences. Some is used to with both countable and uncountable nouns. Similarly, any is also used with countable and uncountable noun, but in negative statements. And it is also used to ask the question. So let's move to the next quantifier. So here is our next quantifier, much. Much is used to determine the quantity of uncountable nouns. Read carefully. The quantity of uncountable nouns. And it is used in questions and in negative statements. So here is the example. How much ice cream do you want? It's a question. Means how much quantity of the ice cream do you want? So ice cream is uncountable. Hence we have used here much. Much is describing the amount of ice cream which is uncountable. So we use here much. We can't count ice cream, as we can't count ice cream. Remember, it is one of the mass noun. Okay, and let's see the next example. You don't have much time before the bus leave. It's a negative statement, means you do not have much time. Now the word much comes before time, which is uncountable. Which is uncountable. So both these sentences fulfilling the requirement of following the rule. Both sentences are following the rule of much, means they are used to determine the quantity of uncountable noun, and it is used in question and in negative statements. In this negative sentences, we are talking about you don't have enough time. In the second statement, we are talking that you do not have enough time. In this example, in this particular use of time, it is uncountable. So that's why we have used here much. Time is counted, no doubt, time is counted, but it's kind of by minutes and seconds and hours, but those things you can count. But the time, the way it is used here, how the word time is used here, it is uncountable now. So we have used here much. So our next quantifier is many. Many is used with plural countable nouns. It is used with the plural. The noun should be plural and it should be countable. So obviously the countable nouns can be converted into plurals. So it is used with the plural countable noun, and it is mainly used in questions and negative sentences, similar to much, as much is also used in question and in negative statement. It is a large quantity of something, but many is the alternative to much. Okay, it is used as the alternative to much because many quantifiers, many, the word many, it quantifies the countable nouns. Like in the first example, how many books do you need? How many books do you need? The word books is countable, and we can count the books in 1, 2, 3, means how many, as the question is asked. And in the second example, there are not many cars on the highway today. So many means here a large quantity, means large quantity of something. Like, so if we say that there are not many, so then we mean there are not a lot of cars on the highway. cards. So these are also countable noun. So many is used with plural countable nouns, and it is also used in question and negative statements similar to much, and used as the alternative of much because it quantifies the countable nouns, but much quantifies the uncountable noun. Okay, so keep these things in your mind. Many is used for countable noun and much is used for uncountable noun. So let's move to our next quantifier, a few and few. Few and a few are used with plural countable noun. They are used with plural countable noun. Usually means a very small amount or quantity of the noun. Let's look at these examples. And in the first one, few students walk to school in the country. Few student means a small amount of students. A small amount of students walk to the school in the country. And in next we have a few students walk to school in the country. Similarly, it is also showing a small amount of student. But what is the difference between them? When we say only few is used, like in the first sentence, in that particular sentence, the emphasizes this sentence emphasizes on the small amount of student who walk to school in the country. And in the number 2 we have in a few students walk to school in the country, and in this case the emphasis is on there are small amount of students that actually walk to school, but there are at least some students that walk. So one is implying that there are small amount, maybe in a negative way, and in number 2 a few student is saying that we know that there are small amount, but at least some students do walk in the school. So the word few is used in a negative manner and word a few is used in a positive manner. For example, when we are satisfied, you can take one more example. Few students pass the test. It is giving a negative statement, means among many only few students could pass the test. But if we say a few students pass the test and they scored above 90, so it is a bit positive sentence in which we are saying ki at least few, means when we are not expecting too many to pass the test, but among them a few at least pass the test. So this is the difference. This word is used in a bit in a negative way, and this is used in a positive way, means at least some students walk to school in the country, or some students, at least a few, passed the test. I hope you got the difference. So like few and a few, we have two more quantifiers, little and a little. In the same way, they are also used in negative and positive way. And but the word little and a little is used with the uncountable noun. It is used with the uncountable noun, but the word few and a few used with the countable nouns. Okay, so here is the difference: uncountable and countable noun versus. And they usually means a small amount or quantity of something. For example, we had little time to prepare for the test. We had little time. So here the word little indicates that we have means like no time. Little here indicate in a negative way, almost none, and no time. We had no time to prepare for the test. But in the second sentence, we had a little time to prepare for the test. This tells us that at least we have some time in a positive way. Here the statement is giving a positive uh, mindset that we had at least some time, we had at least a little time. Means here we are saying in a positive way, yes, we have time to prepare for the test. But in the first sentence, we had little time to prepare for the test, means we are going negative. In the way, in the sense, we are saying we had no time to prepare for the test. Means the little time represent all equal to almost none or no time. So it is similar as a few and few. Few is used when we are using a negative statement, but that is used with countable, like we have a few books. So it means at least we have some books to read. But if we say few books were with us, we had few books, so it represents the negative statement that somebody is saying in a dissatisfied manner, we have only few books. Means we have very much less quantity. It is telling us very less quantity of something. So I hope you got that the uses of little and few and a few. The word only singular means a little is used in negative statement, and on the other hand, a little is used in a positive way or in a positive statement. Statement I'm saying in a positive way, in a positive manner we use it. Similarly with few and a few. So here is our next determiner, each and every, in which each refers to every one of the group, means which are taken separately, and every refers to all of a group. Means these are the two words, these two words are very similar in meaning, so it is very easy to confuse when we use them. So what's the difference between each and every? Well, both words refers to something that is singular, but each refers to an individual object or a person. When we think of things separately, when we think of the things separately. And this means, for example is given in front of you. Study each sentence carefully. This means study the sentence one by one, and each is more usual for small number. Each is more usual than small number. And in the second example, every sentence must have a verb. Every sentence must have a verb. This means all the sentences must have a verb, and every is also more usual for a large number. So keep in mind, each is used for a small number and every is used for a large number. As in each, we separate the noun. Let's understand with one more example. There were 4 books on the table, and each was in different color. Means among those 4 books, each book was of different color. So we are talking about them separately. There are 4 books and it's a group of 4 books, and we are taking each books separately, we are considering them separately. Means they have different color. Each book, this book, this book, this book, this book, these all books have different color. And for every she has read every book in the library. We can take one more example of every also. Every book, she has read every book in the library. Means she is very fond of reading, and she has read every book. Means how many books are there in the library? She has read every book. So this means all the books. Every books represent all the books. So about each and every, we understood that each is used when we talk about a small amount of something or small number of something. Usually it is used when we have 2 objects. Each is used when we have 2 objects. Like if we talk about a game like football, so in the football match each team has 11 players. So there are 2 teams in opposition. So each team has 11 players. Each is used when there are only 2 objects. Okay, and every is used to say means all in number. means all the members, all the member has to take part in the activity. Yeah, all the every student has to take part in the activity. There is a much more difference. Each is used alone, like we can say each student, each book, but every cannot be used alone. Each person can be used, but every person is not suitable. So we understand that when there are two things which are being referred to, then we use only each, and when we are referring to all the members, yeah, all the things in the group, then we use every. And they can, each and every both can be used interchangeably at time also. Like if I tell you a sentence, each time I look at you, you look different. The same sentence can be written with every also. Every time I see you, you look different. So it means they are interchangeable also. And in general, every is used when there are many members of the group. When we are talking about all the members, all the things which we are considering, like every person standing in the room was asked to get their belongings checked, means every person, each person. Our next determiner is all. All is used with plural countable and uncountable noun to talk about the total number of people. Means it mentioned the whole number. Means it tells us about the full quantity, means complete quantity, the whole number it tells. It gives us the idea, all the students were there, means it is not giving the exact number, it is not telling exact number, but it is giving a pinpoint or idea about the students, that all the students were there or all the students were present. And one more example, all the decisions were taken by the authorities, means completely every decision was taken by the authority, all the decisions. And next we have none. None is used to refer to not any one of a given number or group of things. If we are talking about two particular things, two objects, or we are talking about a group of things, means none of the things, none of the person, no one. Means when we are counting no one, nobody, then we use none. For example, none of the students were performing tests, means not even a single one. No one. No one was performing the test. Means there were many students, but none of the students were performing the test. So this is our next determiner included in quantifier. A lot and lots of. They also both have the same meaning, and they are used with the plural countable and uncountable nouns, and usually used in positive sentences to quantify a large amount of something. This should be very easy for everyone because they are used with countable, plural, which are plural as well as countable, and uncountable noun, and they usually used in a positive sentences, and like much and many, they are also used to quantify the large amount of something. So in the first example, there is a lot of bread on the table. There is lot of bread on the table. So the bread is uncountable. If we talk about the piece of bread, then we will consider it as countable, but usually bread is uncountable. Here we have used there is a lot of bread on the table. So bread is countable, so bread is uncountable noun, and we can also say there is lots of bread on the table. They both mean the same exact thing. Okay, so you can use a lot of with uncountable noun and lots of also with plural uncountable noun. Take one more example, like there are a lot of windows in that house, or there are lots of windows. They both mean the same. So with this we have finished the quantifiers. The fourth type of determiner, so which indicates that how much or how little of the noun is being discussed, and they are used to express the quantity without giving an exact number. They just give an idea, means the thing is the amount of the noun is in is a lot of it, is all of it, or some of it. So it just give an idea without giving the exact number. Thank you.